Hi everyone, let me know if there's anything you want to talk about on the chat. Hope everyone's keeping well and safe during this nightmare. Hi Joan. Joan, give me a thumbs up. You should be able to hear audio, obviously, as well as see the live feed to my computer. Very good. So I'm using a Yaesu FT8 into a G5 RV antenna, full size, 104 feet. And the Yaesu is being controlled by this Lenovo Ultrabook. And I'm running WS-JTX version 2.1.2. I've just made 2 quick QSOs actually, but let's try this guy in Italy. I'm currently using 40 watts, 40. Oh yeah. Are you having problems, Joan? What receiver have you got? Sometimes it's necessary to use virtual audio cables to kind of truncate, route the audio from your receiver into WS-JTX. I've had to use that in the past. Just an idea, but right, yeah. What receiver is it, Joan? SDR Play 2. Oh right, okay, yeah. So I think I've got a video actually from when I was in Australia last week of me using an SDR Play RSP DX. Jim, how you doing? Yeah, it is a nightmare. I've got an old ATS 909. Oh yeah. Oh right, yeah. No, I remember the 909. Yeah, the original one. Yeah, I remember it well. I feel like we kind of, not that we escaped Australia, but when we got to Brisbane Airport last Sunday, nearly all the flights have been cancelled. The only flight that was actually running was our flight to Dubai, and then obviously to London. That was the only flight running. All the flights back to Asia had all been cancelled in Brisbane. Yeah, it was a bit of a nightmare. Well, it wasn't a nightmare for us. It was actually pretty straightforward to us, but potentially it could have been a nightmare. I mean, you know, mind you, there's worse places to get stuck in than Australia, I'll grant you, but it would have been a bit inconvenient, put it that way. It was inconvenient enough to have to fly to Australia. Yeah, to fly to Australia and back again in a week. It would have been far more inconvenient to than to have not been able to get back when we wanted to. Yeah. I'll have a look at your YouTube video, Jim, of your 909 a bit later on. Anyway, Joan, yeah, so I used a virtual audio cable to route the audio from my RSPDX or RSP Duo before that into WSJTX. If you don't know how to do that, it is a bit of a pain. But if you need to find someone that that knows a bit about computers. It's actually pretty straightforward, but I understand that is the audio cable. Yeah, that's right. You need a virtual audio cable, and they're free. You can download the drivers off the internet that will do that. Yeah, but that's how you do it. Oh, that's how I did it. There's a lot of arguments over FT8. A lot of hams think that it's kind of de-skilling the hobby, that it's too easy and you can just sit around making hundreds of QSOs, thousands of QSOs without really doing anything. And that is true to a certain extent, although it's not completely straightforward. I've been here now, I'm using 40 watts, which is quite a lot of power for narrow mode digital signal, and I've only made 2 QSOs. It's not like they're literally lining up. In fact, I'm going to call CQ again because that isn't really working out. You can see that it's really busy. There's all the signals stacking up. Let's try calling CQ. Unless I see there's quite a lot of signals, but none of them particularly strong. That one's not so bad. Let's try this guy in Italy. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, you basically need a virtual audio cable, and that piece of software will funnel the audio out of your RSP2 into JTX. Hi Jim, 909 more sensitive than I thought it would be. Suspect it was a later improved blue Sengen logo. Yeah, I think the blue logo, yeah, I think that was the later one, Jim. It's funny really, because obviously I've got the 909X, and it's true to a certain extent that on the telescopic whip it is a bit deaf, but it's not as deaf as I think people are making out. I took it out into the woods, well, I don't know, a couple of years ago probably, and compared it side by side to another of my radios, probably the Eaton Satellite. And I think overall, with a long wire, the Satellite was still a more sensitive setup, but not night and day. You know, the delta on performance wasn't huge, but it does something to you. It just puts a little nagging doubt in your head. So, you know, even though the 909X sensitivity with a big antenna is not appreciably different to any of my other receivers, that nagging doubt would probably mean that I probably wouldn't ever really consider taking it out, say taking it to South America or taking it to the United States and using it as my sort of main radio on a de-expedition, because I know that it doesn't quite perform as well as some of my others. Be interesting actually to compare a 909 with a 909X. Now that would be an interesting comparison. I've got PSK Reporter running on my other laptop, but rather than do that, I'm going to set it up on here so I can just click backwards and forwards. PSK Reporter. There we go. So I don't have to. Oh, there you go. That's better. Let's go 12. Go. Just so as you guys can have a look at how my signal's getting out on 40 watts on 40 meters. So there you go. That's how it's looking at the moment. If we hide, okay, we're hiding fake monitors. That's okay. So, right. How are we getting on? Not very well. Let's try that Spanish station again. Right, now I'll go back to you guys. Oh, here we go. Echo Alpha 4, Hotel Charlie Zulu. Taking the bait. Would like to try FT8 QSO. Yeah. Yes. K3DY. That would be good. I'm on 40 meters right now, as you can see. This is my third QSO in about, I don't know, 10 minutes. I made a couple of QSOs actually before I actually went live. K3DY, have you done FT8 before? I'm assuming you have, but I might be wrong about that. Yep, 20 meters would probably be good. Yeah, probably, yeah. Yeah, possibly 20 meters might be okay. It might be a bit late in the day here for 20 now, actually. Let me just show you how my signal's getting out on... I mean, I think transatlantic is obviously possible on 40. I'm struggling here to complete a QSO with a station in Spain, so that doesn't bode well. Lots of EU now. Yeah, there has been since I came on 40 meters. I'll show you how busy it is on 40. There you go. That's how busy it is. Very. So K3DY, are you in a position to get onto to start calling CQ on 20 meters now? On 20 meters CQ 2241. Oh, okay. Oh. Okay, I'm just completing this QSO one. Not actually 50 watts, I'm using 40. Right. 2241. Let me see if, okay, let me just, I'm just going to rematch my antenna and let's see if I can see your signal. 20. Okay. I've got a bit of a cough. I don't know whether I should be self-isolating. If I stop TXing. Okay, so K3DY. So you're on 20 meters. Are you calling CQ now? So I'm not transmitting at the moment. I'm just going to look to see whether I can see your signal. Okay. Well, you can see whether I can see it because you're calling CQ, and presumably you can see my. You're looking at my live transmission. So Let's what we can do is let's just go back to here and let's go to 20 meters. Let's just go, okay, sent and let's just go received by. K3DY. I'm looking for you. I'm going to start transmitting. I'm going to start calling CQ and let's see how far if my signal can reach you, because if my signal, what TX power are you using, K3DY? I'm now using 50. What? Yeah. What? How many watts? What's your? How many whiskies are you calling with? $30 watts to a dipole at 100 feet. Okay. All right. So I'm using 50 into a G5RV. A full-size G5RV, about 8 or 9 meters above the ground. Well, that's interesting. So, so this is interesting. There you go. Decoded down in, what's that? Melbourne area. Twice, 2 separate. There you go. There's a path to Melbourne open right now. So 50 watts is getting me to the other side of the world. Based on PSK report, it looks like the skip lands on the continent worked it. He was plus 10 dB. Yeah. Yeah, must have done. Well, 20 meters is open to Australasia at the moment. Oh. Okay, so I've got WR0E EL88. Whiskey Bravo 2 Delta Romeo Victor. Whiskey Romeo 0 Echo. So United States coming in. just call CQ. Still calling CQ, nothing. 20, I'm not sure how good. I can look at. I can have a look at how 20 meters is going. But if I show you, let's just try this guy in Portugal. But my signal isn't being copied very regularly. I'll show you the map in a minute. Once or twice every few minutes. So I'm presuming that the 20 meter band isn't in great shape, despite being decoded in Australia 2 or 3 times. Here we go. Well, as usual, it's saying 30 meters, 20 meters fair, 17 to 15 poor, and 40 good. I'm not sure I believe it. Okay, so Charlie Tango 1, Italy Uniform Alpha has seen my signal, 20 meters, but if you look at where I heard on 20 meters, it's everybody. But where are you? But where you are? So are you still on you still calling CQ on 2241? K3DY. Here we go, backwards and forwards. 2336, right. Let's have a look. Okay, 250, 300. Yeah, well, I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing your signal. Yay. Okay, so QSO with the CT, Charlie Tango 1. Done. Um, 2336. Ah, 2336. Are you okay? So on two. Yeah. Okay. So what's your okay? So are you so basically are you on 14.07423336? 14.074. So what? Give me your full frequency. Are you on? So you're okay. So you're so two kilohertz. So you're on 14.76336. Is that correct? Just if you just message me the full frequency, just to, so as I'm sure, I'll adjust mine and then I'll listen. But if you're saying 2336 hertz, then you're basically saying 14.0762. Sorry, it's 14.0076336. Just type the number and message on the chat, and I'll set it. Okay, let's try Sierra Victor. Hi Malcolm, yes, I'm back. Got back on Monday. I was only away for 8 days. So yeah, still knackered, still got jet lag, a bit, over the worst of it. Just doing some live FT8 for a bit. But quite a few more videos to upload onto the channel from Australia. I'm behind schedule. Okay, so this is looking a bit more interesting now. Not a huge number of decodes, but some interesting ones. So there you go. Probably can't see all of that, but there you go, now you can. So 23 reception reports, which isn't great for, well, it's not a huge number, but North America, South America, Australia. So the signal's getting out there. Nothing happening here. Let's go back. Right, K3DY, did you give me? K3DY, are you still calling CQ? I might suggest that you, because for whatever reason, 20 meters is nowhere near as busy as 40. Whether you drop down in frequency and I don't know, but actually just move your signal QSY back into the band. Okay. Right, let's just call CQ. Right, yeah, anyway, so for everyone's benefit, yeah, so I'm using 50 watts, 50 watts into a full-size G5 RV. There you go. There's an FT8 QSO taking place between two English stations. If it completes. There you go. Short skip. Okay, folks, that's it for now. I might come back on later on. Made a few QSOs on 20, if you're on 40. Yeah, but I've got a few things I need to do now, so I'm going to call it a day for now. Thanks for watching or being involved, for those of you that were, and possibly I'll come back on later on. Okay, cheers. 7-3.